About these African languages being created, according to Dr. Claude Anderson, and this is a big one. Dr. Claude Anderson says, quote, the Arabs fabricated a trading language, Swahili, to facilitate trade. And there it is. Do y'all know some of these key African languages were made up by foreigners so they could communicate with Africans to sell each other? How dare you tell me I don't have a language when you're speaking a facsimile, hodgepodge slave language that was created for you by your oppressor? Get the fuck out my face. Go ahead, Chris.
And a language created to sell people. Why would I want to learn that?
Wow. Yes, sir, Chris.
I totally agree with that. How you doing, Professor? Hey, Wani. Hey, everybody. For the language thing, I think we already broke that down a million times. I don't think we need to say that no more. But as I would say, for a common enemy between FBAs and Africans, I would say yes, if they actually knew it. You know what I'm saying? Because it seems as if they don't know. You know what I'm saying? Not in mass, at least. It seems like, as I always hear all of us say, we're the only ones that put points on the board when it comes to white supremacy. So it seems as if they don't know that it exists. So therefore, I don't think we know because they don't seem to know. Right. And I'll end there.
Yep, they don't seem to know a lot of things, but how to tell us how to be African when we're not. Go ahead, Roger Ward.
Professor, what's going on, man? How you doing? Hey, Wani, peace to you as well. I just wanted to say, like, the main thing, just to answer the question to the room, do FBAs have a language? The main thing that Caribbeans or like people from the diaspora try to shame us about is having a language. When they say we have a lack of culture, oh nigga, what's your language? What's your native language since you have culture? Because they like to make the two interchangeable. And I don't hear the same fake shaming towards the Jamaicans because they have what's called patois, and I think a brother brought that up earlier, which is just a variation of English. So they don't try to fake shame them for that. You know what I'm saying? And Professor, you taught in Memphis, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right. So you know that Memphis has its own language. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Like, so I went to Tennessee, Chattanooga, and a lot of people from Memphis went to that school.
Yeah.
And, like, one of their favorite sayings was they will always add "ain't it" to the end of everything. So, for example, they'll say, "Oh, you fresh as hell, ain't it?" You know what I'm saying? Or your lineup crispy as hell, ain't it? You know what I'm saying? So, like, within different regions of where we are located, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm from Atlanta, so we say, like, instead of saying, like, what are you talking about? We say, hell, you talking about? Or, like, what you talking about? You know what I'm saying? We just combine everything and just make it, like, easier to say for us. And that's the same thing that goes for FBAs that live in Cali, FBAs that live in New York, FBAs that live in Florida. We all have our own different, you know what I'm saying, way of speaking. But here's the thing, being that we're FBA, we may not have heard the specific terms before that each region may say, but we all have an understanding of what we're trying to say because we can make it out. What that specific FBA is talking about, being that we share the same culture and we share the same language in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just have different ways of saying different things. And I'll say this and I'll land. There was a guy that I think Tariq had talked about one time that is teaching, I think he's Nigerian. He's teaching other Africans and other people where he has his own YouTube channel of teaching people how to speak FBA language. You know what I'm saying? So if that's the case, if we don't have language, what is he teaching these people? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't teach a quote unquote language. You know what I'm saying? If there's no language to teach. So we have our own specific language, and they try to shame us for that in our land there.
Well, we have multiple languages. That's the whole point. We have Gullah Geechee, Louisiana Creole, Afro-Seminole Creole, Tutnese, and we have the same whatever Jamaicans have developed. We have surpassed that. People are not trying to sound like Jamaicans. So now I don't know what to say about the language because we have affected Old English, and we've affected modern English, middle to modern English. We have affected middle to modern English, and we've created dialects of that. And of course, a lot of the words that we say and the way that we say it becomes slang globally. Everything about us becomes something that people use globally.
Yeah, what Wani is talking about, the term is colloquial. That's a hard word. Colloquial vernacular. So back to Memphis. My favorite Memphis colloquial vernacular is when you talk about your side piece. So one of my students was like, Doctor A, I got a girlfriend, I got a boo, and I got a junt. So a junt is like below a side piece. Hey man, where your junt at? JUNT, junt. I love it.
A junt.
A junt. She my junt. That's my junt.
And look, and one more thing before I drop. See, they kind of say the same thing in Louisiana. Like if you are from like New Orleans or Baton Rouge, they say that's my little yeah. You know?
Wait, spell it.
That's my little yeah. So basically, what he's saying is yeah, but you know, like when people from Louisiana talk, they say yeah instead of yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's my little yeah.
I went to undergrad with the second time around with a bunch of dudes from Louisiana, from New Orleans, and I like the way they answer the phone. They answer the phone, they say whoa. Instead of hello, they say whoa. New Orleans cool.
So, Professor, I was going to ask the little boy. So, what he was saying was joint. That's my little joint. So instead of saying joint, he said joint.
Joint.
Oh, so he was saying joint differently. So also, right. So joint. That's my little joint. Yeah. But if you say it somewhere else on the East Coast, what he's saying is that's my little joint right there. Just like where up in Philly they say that's my joint.
John.
I don't understand that. John.
Right, that's my joint.
It's like bad boy.
That's my joint. So we're saying joint differently. So he said joint. Philly, they say John. But everybody is saying the same word different ways.
I thought John was different than... Isn't John like a thing?
So John John is a noun. Pretty much. It's a noun. But joint, joint, we're all saying joint different ways based on the region and based on how we put the accent on the word joint. So therefore, pidgin, we're breaking that word joint down, and none of us say joint. None of us say all of those letters. Everybody's saying it different by region. So I understood what the boy was saying, just like Tata was saying, her people said something about everybody getting in the car, something like that. Depending on how people talk and how fast they talk and where they put the accent, I can understand people from Charleston. It'll take me a little bit because of where they put the accent. But in Baltimore City, yes, we will cut things down real short. Everybody speak pidgin, but we just put accents on the words different, or we will say the word differently just based on the region that we in.
I want to say something interesting about that. The Cometics, the Egyptians, is the white word. Shorten sentences down. That's a sign of intelligence, because when you compress sentence structure down, you save time and your point gets across faster. There are some lines of thought that European English is too wordy and confusing. You know what I'm saying, hey man, that's my junt. Instead of saying, hello, this is my secondary girlfriend. That took a lot of time and is confusion.
Secondary girlfriend.
Or whatever they say.
That's a lot. They need to just stop.
They're wordy.
Professor, can I talk on that? I think I'm the last one.
We're gonna let Miss T have last word.
I was gonna say something real quick. So our dialect, according to linguists, expresses complex ideas with fewer words.
That's intelligence. Go ahead, brother.
Okay, yeah. Thank y'all. Good room too. Shout out to you, Professor Mwani. I always enjoy the room. Shout out to everybody else in the space. Everybody that chimed in. I think of coding. You know, you said that you had some experience in coding. I do as well.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. You get in your message across in a shorter language, you know. So that's how I think of, you know, what y'all were just talking about, language. You know, that's a form of language. I also believe, too, that we have unspoken language. Like, if something pop off, you know what I'm saying, we somewhere we can look at each other and we already know what to do. We just take off running. And then even my homies, like when we came up as youngsters, you know what I'm saying, when we were young, like we would have language, we would transmit language by looking at each other. We'd be in a room of females and stuff, and like we make a look at each other and we would already know what's up. You know what I'm saying? So the other point that I came up to speak about was Dan. Yeah, man, I like how y'all do it though. Yeah, I know it's a purpose of the room, so I appreciate it, but you know, I think we need to refer to him as he is. I don't think y'all need to refer to him as brother or whatever, because he's not that. You know what I'm saying? Tether, we don't just call people tethers because where they from or, you know, what background, nationality they have. You know what I'm saying? We call them tethers because it's an action. And we consistently see Dan come in the room every night. And that's exactly what he does is tether. You know, I pulled up the definition. It's in the first thing it says is tie, in quotations, has an animal with rope or chain so as to restrict its movement. So that's what these folks are trying to do. They're trying to restrict our movement. They're trying to control what direction that we go in. And, you know, in essence, really just they think we're still their slave. They got us wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I think we should just call them for what they are. He a tether. He an action. It's an action that he takes every single night coming into these rooms trying to tie in. You know what I'm saying? They don't even have nothing. Like you said, Wandi, there's nothing to tie into. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's all I had. Good night, y'all.
I appreciate it, brother.
Thank you.
Our last speaker will be Miss T. What's going on, Memphis?
What up, though, man?
What up, man?
Man, this has been a great space. I can't wait until y'all upload this to YouTube. And AB2000, thank you so much for slicing Dan. Dan is an irritant for all of us in this space that are actually trying to learn. And Wani, thank you for the way you so surgically slice and dice him. I don't know why he keeps coming back. I guess he likes mental destruction. But you know, in Memphis, the gentleman came up and he spoke on the Memphis vernacular so well that ain't it at the end of the sentence is that question mark. And then that gives you the opportunity to respond. I think it's something powerful in that we don't have to say a lot of words to get the point across. Even a look, you know, if we were held hostage somewhere, Black Americans can do a lot of talking with our eyes. We can have that connection, and within that connection, we could be like, okay, the next time he turn around, we gonna bun rush him. I mean, it's just, we are so dynamic, and people always try to say it's a bad thing when we do it. But then they take it, repackage it, and now it's the best thing in the world to do. They do it with everything. Y'all remember gold teeth? They started wearing grills. You know, it was a thug thing at first, but then they swap it out. And it's now, oh, I I just paid $500K for my grill. You know, so shout out to the Black people for our language, spoken, unspoken, jaunt and joint. It's all the same. If he's saying that's my little jaunt, that's his chick. That's his ace. That's his cut buddy. Even that's his ride or die. He can depend on her for anything. And like Queen Kush was saying, saying John, it's the same thing, but we understand each other. But I'm going to tell this story and then I'm going to land. When Katrina happened, I was a area manager for this service station down here called Racetrack Petroleum. And so I was at one of my stores because we had started getting a lot of Katrina victims in the Atlanta area. And so one of the gentlemen came in from New Orleans and he said, "What up, my lady? Where your motor?" And I was like, "My what?" He said, "Modero." Then I started looking at the employees like, "Help me. What is he saying?" He's like, Modero. He said, for the car, Modero.
Motor oil.
Motor oil. That's what he was saying. That's what he was saying. So, I mean, I love it, and he wasn't offended by it. I was just like, brother, I can't even understand what you say. I want to help you. I really do. But I love the New Orleans accent. I got to slow it down myself to kind of understand it because they're OIL, they pronounce it Earl. And so once I learned that, I was good with it. But thank you, Professor, for this space, man. I love it.
Hey, you're welcome, man. Miss T, Memphis, the closest place to New Orleans is Memphis. It's so many similarities. It's totally different, but Memphis got a little New Orleans going on. I was in Baton Rouge years ago. I was thinking about going to Southern University. Now, that's a beautiful historical black college. It's right on the Mississippi River. And it was so beautiful. I was going to go to their law school. It didn't work out. But it was so beautiful. I got out my camcorder and was like just, recording. And it was some gentlemen on the projects right next to where I was recording doing something questionable. And one of them walked up to me and said, "Hey, baby, what you tipping?" And I said, "Huh?" He said, "Baby, what you tipping?" And I was like, I don't know what you're saying. He's like, "Baby, quit tipping." He said, that was basically, "Hey, man, stop recording." He said, "Hey, baby, what you tipping?" I love that accent. I love the food too.
I wanted to wait to get through the story, but when you said you had a camcorder, you just dated yourself. So anybody that was born in 2000 don't even know what you're talking about.
What's the camcorder?
Now they looking up camcorders now. They're looking it up.
Oh yeah, I'm an 80s baby. So yeah, we getting old now. I was talking to my students, and I'm in Atlanta now, and I brought up, we were having a good conversation. They started talking about the best rappers of all time, and I said, man, now check this out. I'm in Atlanta now, and I said, Outkast is up there, and they looked at me funny, and one of them said, "Dr. A, what's Outkast?" And I was like, oh shit, what's Outkast? In Atlanta.
Wow.
Yep.
Now, does anybody remember when they used to say bad boy?
Bad boy.
Everything was bad boy, like John, bad boy. Like if you were
boy right there. Yeah, that like that.
Remember?
That's a bad boy right there. Yeah.
Or they would, like, you'd be at the mechanics and somebody would say, "Hand me that bad boy."
Yep, I remember that.
Then they changed it to bad baby. Then they changed it to boy. And then they just stopped saying it altogether. So they, you know how people said, talk to the hand, and then it was like, did you just put the hand up? Did you just look at my hand? I ain't even gonna say nothing. You don't even deserve words. Just look at this hand. Talk to it. Yeah, we're very interesting individuals.
Oh, I'll take y'all back to the 90s. Y'all remember Smooth? Man, that car's smooth.
My favorite was "You Ain't Slick." That's I think we still "You Ain't Slick." Like it's like, oh, that's slick right there. Oh, let me see that's slick. Like I mean, it's so many different words. Every now and again, I be like, I want to pull that out of rotation.
Kush has,
and we should start. Yeah, we should start trademarking our words. Like, remember bling bling, that came out of New Orleans, and that caught on all around the world. And I don't even know if they made money off of what they coined, but they definitely should have. It even became a word in the dictionary with a different meaning.
Well,
you know what I'm going to say, though, about people out of the South? A lot of foundational Black Americans out of the South are very savvy business people. People think that Southern accent mean people ain't intelligent. They are very savvy, very savvy when it comes to business. And when it comes to the term bling bling, Baby's brother Slim, behind the scenes, Slim is the businessman. Like, totally. Baby, yeah, he's a businessman, but Slim is that businessman. I would not be surprised if Slim and Baby figured out a way to take that bling bling and, like you said, make money off of it. If we just, the way we are as foundational Black Americans, I don't want to say too much. Even those who know who we are and know our economic potential, these tethers have no clue who we are. That's why I'm being careful with the fact that we know the tethers are in the space. But when it comes down to our vernacular, certain words that have been coined and have made its way into the dictionary, people that are business savvy, they definitely are trademarking words. Beyonce went to bat with some woman who had a business called Blue Ivy. Beyonce was like, yeah, no, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to court and we're going to go to bat to trademark Blue Ivy. It's like, what? Like, foundational Black Americans are out here trademarking names. Foundational Black Americans are getting ahead of the game in the virtual space and certain things like that. Yes, I agree. We definitely need to start figuring out, or collectively in the think tank, wherever that is, how to really go up there and economically tighten up with a lot of our creations that we just kind of say, talk to the hand. Oh, we don't need that anymore. No, we need this and we need our money. We need our coins.
Well, we have a godlike power of trend setting. Everybody follows us. In the white spaces, I remember back when I was in college in the 2000s, I started catching on, 2008 around in there, I started catching on the white boys saying, man, that's fire. That's fire. And I was like, man, that's what Black folk used to say in the hood, man. That girl got, well, I can't say that. But yeah, that's fire as hell, But now I'm starting to hear, and it pisses me off every time I hear it, but I'm starting to hear the ultra white spaces say no cap. I can't stand it. No cap, man. No cap. We set trends. We need Black people. We need our own dictionary. Remember that warfare, as Antonio Gramsci proved in his masterpiece, warfare starts with language. Now, if y'all want to get, I'm not a biblical scholar, but one interesting concept out of the Bible was the power that was given to Adam, the biblical figure Adam. According to that biblical canon, Adam was given the power to name things. Now, when you name something, you create its reality around it, right? We were called African American by Jesse Jackson, sorry ass. And that created a false reality that we were subordinate to a continent that a lot of us don't even have lineage that's linked to. Well, what have we started to do? We've taken that power, like according to biblical canon, that was given to Adam, and we're creating our own reality based in reality. Foundational Black American. We are the foundation of this country. And what happens to the building when the foundation falls out? The building fucking collapses. And now that we've stepped aside, we're watching this house of cards tumble down. Black Americans, what we need to do, and if y'all want to consult with me to get together to do it, is we need our own dictionary that's been published by us, so we can finalize creating our own reality within our own vernaculars, plural. Ladies and gentlemen, I've enjoyed y'all. Kush, did you have...
So can I have the last word?
No. I can't handle it, Dan. The next time.
I didn't talk about the common enemy part. That's why.
Wani, what are your thoughts?
We already got the answer. We have a common enemy, the white supremacists. And
I have a different answer.
The African is the enemy of Black Americans and of Africans. And that's one of the greatest enemies that they have. They're an enemy of themselves.
And I'm sorry, Dan, but that's not debatable. I'm
not debating with that. I agree with her. I just want to give more information on that.
Dan, like I told you, we don't care about babble and that 0 to 5 storytelling shit. That's so weird.
I'm not babbling, though.
I'm just saying, no disrespect, but we're gonna be rooted in scholarship. And unfortunately for you, Dan, what Wani just said is rooted in scholarship. Let's look at Dr. Claude Anderson's Black Labor White Wealth, page 111. 11 is a real powerful number, by the way. Dr. Anderson said Black West African sense of community was narrowly and divisively based on tribal origin.
What was that first word?
Black West African. Sense of community.
I've never heard that. That's why.
Okay, sense of community was narrowly and divisively based on tribal origin rather than a commonality of black skin color and collective racial destiny.
Black students, we need to know our history.
The black history we're being taught in public schools is repetitive.
As a black high school student, I want to learn more about my history in the school books.
We need to update our books.
As Black American students, we deserve an accurate depiction of what history truly is.
I want to see myself in these textbooks.
In the public school system, Black history is vague.
Why don't the school books ever talk about the Freedmen's Bureau?
I created the workbook for the African American family. This book helps fill in the gaps that the school books don't. Purchase the workbook for the African American family on OurStoryPublications.com and use the Cash App, $Our Story Publications.